Good evening. Welcome to the module Communication Theory, Learning Outcome 1. In the previous video, we studied about the transformation of the random variable. Example for the transformation of the random variable, straight line y equal to mx plus c. So the random variable x is transformed into the random variable y, and we can use the transformation function to transform the one random variable into another random variable. Okay, and if the function is monotonically increasing, then we can equate the probability of the random variable x into probability of the random variable y. And so today's session we are going to talk about the joint and conditional PDF. So now consider the two random variable x and y, so which is varies from minus infinity to plus infinity. And in that random variables, we can take the some event in the limited range. Okay, so for the random variable x, we can take the region which is varies from the range x minus dx to x, and for random variable y, we can take the in the area from y minus dy to y. Then we can find out the probability for these two events in the given range. It will give the joint PDF function for the random variables x and y. And now take the another events in the random variable x, which is varies from one event varies from the range a to b, and another event varies from c to d in the same random variable x. Okay, then we can find out the probability for these two events. Okay, by applying the joint PDF function, because here that the events are varying from the large region a to b, c to d. We need to integrate both events. Okay, so that here we are using the double integral, which is varies from a to b, and integral varies from c to d. Then the joint PDF function of the random variable p of x comma y, we will get the probability for the joint PDF of the particular events. Now we can consider the random variable x and y are statistically independent events. Okay, then we can reduce this joint PDF function into the product of the PDF function of the individual random variable, like p of x and p of y. So now we can assume that there is a dependent between the random variable x and y. Then we can find out the conditional PDF of the random variable y given random variable x. So which is here mathematically represented for the conditional PDF. Okay, so for the random variable y, so p of y given x, which is equal to ratio of the joint PDF of random variable x and y, that is p of x comma y divided by the PDF function of the random variable x. And another thing, we can find out the PDF for the random variable x from the joint PDF function. Okay, so provided the another random variable y, which is varies from minus infinity to plus infinity. Okay, in that case, we can find out the PDF of the one random variable, for example, random variable x from the joint PDF function. So so here the PDF of the random variable x is determined by joint PDF function by integrating over minus infinity to plus infinity. So this kind of PDF function can called a marginal PDF function, because this PDF function is calculated from the joint PDF function of the two random variable x and y. Now we can see one example for the joint PDF of the random variable. So in this example, we consider the two noise voltages, and we can, and the problem they given the joint PDF function p of x comma y, so which is equal to 1 by 2 pi e power minus y squared minus xy plus x squared by y. Both random variable x and y are varies from minus infinity to plus infinity. Okay, then we can find out the marginal PDF for the random variable x. So the marginal PDF of the x is p of x. Okay, So we can integrate the joint. So we can find out the marginal PDF function by integrating the joint PDF with another random variable, means random variable y. So we can integrate this joint PDF p of x comma y over the interval minus infinity to plus infinity with respect to the random variable y, that is a dy. So so we can see here the exponential function, it is looking like a minus b whole square form. So we can rearrange this term, the exponential. So we can write like that 1 by pi, because the minus infinity to plus infinity, we can rewrite it 2 times of 0 to infinity. So 2 will be cancelled. We are getting 1 by pi. And here, so in order to represent this term in a minus b whole square form, we can take the minus x squared by 4 outside. Okay, e power minus x squared by 4 outside. So we can write like that y minus x by 2 whole square. So which means y squared minus y squared plus x squared by 4 plus means minus 2 xy by 2. So 2 will be cancelled, minus xy is coming. So in that you can observe here. So inside previously the x term is x squared by 2. So if you take the minus x squared by 4 outside, then if you expand the a minus b whole square, it becomes x squared by 4. So x squared by 4 plus x squared by 4 equal to x squared by 2. So that we are taking this term outside from this expression. Let lambda equal to 1 minus x by 2, that is that inner bracket of the exponential term, y minus x by 2. And if you differentiate this equation, d lambda equal to dy. So we can write this marginal PDF function of the random variable x, which is equal to 1 by pi. So e power minus x square by 4 and 0 to infinity e power minus lambda square d lambda. So we can apply the one formula to minimize this expression, that is 0 to infinity e power minus a squared x squared dx equal to 1 by 2 square root pi by a. So therefore it becomes by substituting the formula, we can finally getting the marginal PDF function for the random variable x, which is equal to e power minus x squared by 4 divided by 2 root pi. Similarly, we can find out the marginal PDF function for the random variable y. The same procedure here also we are following. We can we can rewrite this, but in this case we can integrate this joint PDF function with respect to the random variable x. So here the differentiation is dx. Okay, that is the difference. So in previous case dy, in this case dx. Okay, now we can rewrite this exponential term in a minus b whole square formula. So because of we are differentiating with respect to x, okay, we can take the y square by 2 outside. So if we can rewrite this y squared in terms of y squared by 2 plus y squared by 2, so that we are taking e power minus y squared by 2 outside. So remaining e power minus y squared by 2 minus xy plus x squared by 2. So if you take the LCM, it becomes 1 by 2 take outside, then y squared minus xy plus x squared. Okay, so you can see here. So 1 by 2, 1 by 2, after taking LCM, that 1 by 2 take outside. So y squared minus 2xy plus x squared. We can represent a minus b whole squared formula. So this expression finally simplified like 1 by pi e power minus y squared by 2 integral 0 to infinity e power minus 1 by 2 x minus y whole square dx. Let again take lambda equal to x minus y, then d lambda equal to dx, then the marginal PDF of y will be actually sorry here plus, so 1 by pi e power minus y squared by 2 0 to infinity, so e power minus 1 by root 2 whole square lambda square d lambda. Actually here 1 by 2 is present. Okay, 1 by 2 is present. So for our convenience, we can rewrite like 1 by root 2 whole square, because we need to apply this formula e power minus a squared s square. That's why here we are writing like that, minus 1 by root 2 whole square lambda square dx. Okay. Then after substituting the formula 0 to infinity e power, this formula 0 to infinity e power minus a squared x squared dx equal to 1 by 2 root pi by a. So by substituting that formula, finally we are getting the marginal PDF for the random variable y. So which is equal to 1 by root 2 pi e power minus y square by 2. So now after getting the PDF function for the random variable x and random variable y, we can product both PDF function, and then we can equate with the joint PDF function. If both are equal, then we can say that the random variable x and y are independent random variable. But here the joint PDF function are not equal to p of x and p of y. So we can say the random variable x and y are not independent random variable. So we can find out the conditional PDF function also. So the PDF function of the conditional PDF of y for the given random variable x equal to the ratio of the p of x comma y joint PDF divided by p of x. It is the marginal PDF of the random variable x. So already we know the equation for the joint PDF and the PDF of the random variable x. Okay. So in denominator e power minus x squared by 4 is there. So we have to subtract the e power minus x squared by 4 in the numerator. So we can take this term outside. You can split x squared by 2 into x squared by 4 plus x squared by 4, so that we can cancel the denominator e power minus x squared by 4. So finally, after simplifying, we are getting the conditional PDF of the random variable y given random variable x, which is equal to 1 by root 2 pi e power minus y squared minus xy plus x squared by 4. So in the same way, we can find out the conditional PDF for the random variable x given random variable y. Okay. So the same formula we are applying, but here the denominator is the PDF function of the random variable y. We have to substitute, but we have to remove this denominator e power minus y squared by 2. So we can rewrite this y squared as y squared by 2 plus y squared by 2. So we can cancel this denominator. So finally, we are getting the conditional PDF of the random variable y, which is equal to square root of pi by 2 e power minus y squared by 2 minus xy plus x squared by 4. Okay. So then we'll move on to the next topic in the first unit, that is statistical average. Okay. So normally for a probability function which provide the more information about the random variable, like the p of x equal to x. Okay, p of x less than or equal to x. So that is a probability function. From that we can get the information about the random variable, and we can describe the random variable by a few characteristic numbers. So example, the mean of the random variable and the variance of the random variable, we can call as a characteristic numbers of the random variable. So the mean of the random variable, say random variable x is constant. So we are usually using the notation mx. Okay. So that is equals the sum of the values of the random variable x weighted by their probabilities. Okay. We have to sum the values of the random variable with the weighted probabilities. We can get the mean of the random variable. Okay. So we can call the mean of the random variable also called as a statistical average, or we can say that it is a expected value of the random variable x. We can use the notation E of x. Here the E indicate the expectation of operator, or we can use this. Some places they are using x bar. Now consider there are a set of n independent observation for the discrete random variables. Okay, and for example, if you are tossing yeah, tossing a coin, there are two observation, head and tail, like that. Here we are getting the n independent observation for the discrete random variable. Okay, and if you take the event x equal to xi, okay, it is occurring ni times. Okay, it is occurring ni time in that experiment. Okay, then we can sum the all the observed values. It will give the average of the particular experiment. So that is the sum of the observed values. Okay, so the number of occurrence n1 for the event x1 and the number of occurrence for the n2 for event x2. So we can add all these observed values. It will give the sum of the observed values. Okay, then if you we can find out the mean or statistical average for the sum of the observed values by dividing with the number of trials, total number of trials, that is capital N. Okay, so the Ni is the number of trials for the individual event. Okay, the capital N is the total number of trials. Okay, and if when N tends to infinity, then we can say that the relative frequency, it becomes the probability of the event p of x equal to xi, or it will be equal to the frequency function or PDF function px of xi. Okay, so therefore we can get the another expression for the statistical average or mean of the random variable x, mx equal to sum of xi p of xi. Okay, we can sum all the event of the random variable x. Okay, so this expression gives the mean of the random discrete random variable in terms of the frequency function. Here the frequency function nothing but we are telling that the PDF of the random variable x. Okay. Similarly, we can find out the mean of the random variable, continuous random variable. Okay, by replacing the PDF function by the differential area p of x into dx, because for the continuous random variable, the event is occurring within the some range. So here the x minus dx to x, then for the small range, we can differentiate that particular PDF function. Okay, so for continuous random variable, the mean is calculated by differentiating the event x multiplying with the PDF function of the random variable x, okay, over the interval minus infinity to plus infinity. And we can represent the PDF function by using impulse response, that is a del function. So if you represent the PDF function in terms of del function, then we can use this PDF function for both continuous and discrete random variables. Okay. Okay, when impulse is allowed in the PDF, then the mean of the continuous random variable equals the mean of the discrete random variable. And now we can consider the event x equal to x. Then you can transform this event into the another random variable z equal to g of x. Then we can find out the mean for that new random variable z, okay, or g of x. Okay, in the expectation of g of x equal to since we are assuming it is a continuous, so we can integrate the event multiplying with the PDF function of that random variable, and then integrating over the interval minus infinity to plus infinity, we will get the mean of the, the transformed random variable g of x. Okay, and if the function g of x is x power n, then we can find out the e of x power n, that is the nth moment of the random variable x. Okay, so the first you can see the first two moments, okay, of the random variable x. Okay, the e of x is the mean of the random variable, that is the first moment mx. Then the second moment of the random variable is e of x squared, means expectation of the random variable x squared. Okay, the second moment also can called mean square values. So here you can see the mathematical representation for the second moment of the a continuous runtime variable and a discrete runtime variable. Okay, that is expectation of x squared. For continuous runtime variable, we can integrate the product of the x squared with the PDF function over the interval minus infinity to plus infinity. For discrete runtime variable, we have to sum the product of the squared event and the PDF function of the runtime variable x. Okay, and now consider the one more example. If the given function g of x equal to alpha x plus beta, where alpha and beta are the constants, then if it that is the one runtime variable, new runtime variable, which is function of x, then the expectation of this function g of x equal to expectation of alpha x plus beta, which is equal to alpha x bar plus beta, because alpha and beta are constant. So we can apply expectation only for the runtime variable, so that we are getting alpha x bar plus beta. Now see another property for the mean of the runtime variable. If you take the expectation for x bar and x, then in this the x bar is mean of the runtime variable. It is constant, so we can take outside. So we can write x bar expectation of x. So the expectation of x is again x bar. So x bar x bar x bar squared we are getting. So in today session, we discussed about the joint PDF and conditional PDF. And then we discussed about the statistical average of the random variable and the first moment and the second moment of the random variable. Okay. Thank you.